Hey Tubies, it's Psychic Bob. Oh, I'm so glad to be here with you. Well, I know I'm getting this video out late tonight, but I just want to say thank you for your patience. For those of you who are new here, I am a full-time psychic medium. And today, I usually do UFO Friday, but today I ended up having so many readings that I've literally been working all day. And it's now almost 11 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. So I'm just getting this video out. But I want to say thank you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your patience. And those of you who don't see this tonight, hopefully you'll get it tomorrow and Saturday. But I've been sitting here studying this crystal. This is one of my treasure jewelry pieces. Some of you guys have seen this. This is a Lemurian crystal. It's kind of hard to see here. I don't have good lighting here tonight. I got to get improved lighting in here. But this is a beautiful Lemurian crystal, seed crystal. And it's believed that the Lemurian crystals were planted by the ancient Lemurians to record the history of their civilization. And I can tell you, I've spent a lot of time in meditation with Lemurian seed crystals, and I really do believe there's truth in that. Anyways, I've been thinking about Lemuria today because I've been doing research on the ancient continent of Lemuria and the alien races that they interacted with. And I discovered a new branch of alien race that I somehow had never heard of. Maybe you guys know about it. It's a branch of aliens called the Telosians. And it's spelled Telosians, Telosians. And the Telosians are believed to have been an ancient alien race that the Lemurians interacted with. Some people say that the Telosians are descendants of the Lemurians. Now, you know, we've talked about Lemurians here at my channel. And the Lemurians are a branch of Nordic aliens from the Pleiades star system. And the Telosians are interesting because they look pretty much exactly the same as the Pleiadians, but there's a little bit of a difference. The ancient Lemurians had Pleiadians visit, but the Pleiadians would come down in their ships and visit for a little while, and then they'd go back to Lemuria. The Telosians are a little different, is that they came and they actually decided to stay, and they lived in Lemuria among the Lemurians. Some people speculate that the Telosians helped the Lemurians learn to incarnate, to take on physical form, because there was a period in Lemurian history where Lemurians were actually spirit beings, and eventually they took on physical form. And it's believed that the Telosians were there also during that transition and helped them to learn to incarnate and be in the physical three-dimensional world. Now, if you don't know where Lemuria is, let me just kind of back up here. Lemuria is an ancient continent off the western coast of the United States and North America. And there are islands such as the Hawaiian Islands and some of the South Sea Islands. Those are the remnants that remain from a continent that broke up and sunk. Many people know about ancient Atlantis, that it sunk to the bottom of the sea. But actually, before Atlantis, there was Lemuria. Lemuria predates Atlantis by several thousand years. And what's interesting is that it was believed that the Telosians came to Earth to help not only the Lemurians learn to be incarnate, but they taught them wisdom, the ancient history of the stars. They taught them astronomy, the sciences. They were very, very, very advanced. And unlike their brethren, the Pleiadians, they actually stayed and kind of were part of the, kind of colonized, in a sense, Lemuria. Now, they were a little different from humans because their average height was 8 feet tall. That's right, that's a pretty big alien. But they were all pretty much Nordic, white skin, blonde hair, blue eyes. And they, as I said, helped the Lemurians, okay? Now, what's interesting is after the destruction of Lemuria, when Lemuria had lost control, similar to Atlantis, had big wars, nuclear annihilation, their continent shattered, earthquakes, and had earthquakes and volcanic eruptions and nuclear waste, and it sunk to the bottom of the sea. There were some members of Lemuria who survived. And it's believed that there was a remnant, about 15,000, who survived. And they were pretty much predominantly Telosians. At that point, Telosians had intermarried with the Lemurians. So, and because they look like us and their genetics are almost exactly the same, they're able to interbreed with humans. So it's believed that many humans existing still have Telosian elements to them. Well, anyways, this band of 15,000 survived, and they migrated to North America, particularly to what is now today Northern California. And there's a famous mountain in Northern California called Mount Shasta. And it's believed that the Lemurians went into, the Lemurians and Telosians, both, they're kind of intermingled, went into the mountain Mount Shasta in California. At the end of the video, I'm going to put up some pictures of Telosians and Mount Shasta so you can see that. And it's believed that they've been living there. Many of the ascended masters are believed to have connections also to Mount Shasta, such as Count of Saint Germain, and masters like this. What's very interesting is many humans are claiming now that the Telosians, in a sense, are emerging from Mount Shasta, and they're actually making their presence known again, and they're revealing themselves. Some people are claiming that they're receiving telepathic communication from the Telosians. And it seems that the Telosians are very interested in a sense, starting to come forth back into the earth. Now, what's really fascinating is back in, 1947, there was an admiral, a naval admiral named, what was his name? It was Richard Byrd. And Richard Byrd had heard or was told, somehow the United States government knew about the Telosians. And during a flight to the North America, to the Arctic Circle up in the North Pole, Admiral Byrd was on an airplane that was directed to go into like a crater in the North Pole. And what happened is he emerged into, in a sense, an inner earth, an inner world. And the Telosians are claim to have lived there and inhabited that region as well. They actually have many underground bases throughout the world. Now, Admiral Byrd wrote a diary describing his experiences, and when the Telosians met him, they basically showed him that up in the North Pole underground, they have built entire cities, subterranean cities, that have UFO craft that go in and out and that circle the Earth. Now, what's really fascinating to me is that many people are on YouTube are talking about the NASA feeds, and it looks like there are UFOs that are literally emerging from the Earth and also returning to the Earth, but nobody knows where they go. I believe that they're going to a number of places. One is to the North Pole, because I do believe Admiral Byrd's account, you can read his account online or look it up. Look up Admiral Byrd Telosians. There's also believed to be a base at Mount Shasta where UFOs originate out of. And now recently, we've heard in the last year all about Antarctica down at the South Pole of the Earth. This is also believed to be another location where the Telosians inhabit. People are saying, well, where did the Telosians come from? Well, what's really interesting is they haven't really said where they come from. They've just basically said, we come from the stars. And what's interesting is it's been so many thousands of years. They've been here since basically the dawn of life on Earth, really. And they've integrated so much into the Earth, they consider themselves Earthlings now. And they've even, in a sense, lost kind of their history. Some of them have said, we come from the Pleiades, but we're not exactly Pleiadian, but we're connected to the Pleiadians. And when I've seen pictures, people have drawn pictures, people have had encounters, and drawn them, they look just like Pleiadians to me. Now, what's really fascinating about this is that the Telosians are absolutely friendly. They speak any language. They're very intelligent. They speak Earth language. And they don't threaten humans. They say that their purpose here is to awaken us to our potential. And according to Admiral Byrd's account, when he went into this location in the North Pole, he said that the Telosians who showed him around said, "Our world is similar to yours, but as you can see, many, many, many thousands of years advanced ahead of you." And so I believe we're at a time right now on the Earth where we're starting to see the emergence of the Telosians. And the reason why that's happening is that I believe that they have a great concern about nuclear war. And as you know, we're having a lot of problems with certain countries, such as North Korea, certain terrorist organizations, such as ISIS. And I believe that the Telosians are really bringing themselves forth now because they're trying to stop nuclear annihilation. They have UFO ships that are kept on the Earth, and they're very advanced. They're far beyond any of our aircraft, from what I've heard. And the people they've shown themselves to seem to say they have a consistent message, one of peace on Earth and unity and healing and bringing people back to higher consciousness. So I think this is very fascinating. I have more research to do on this. As I said, this is rather new to me as well. But I'm going to be researching more about the Telosians. But for now, I just want to bring this to you and, get you thinking about it. Because I think, as I've said, and I've said this consistently, over the next 2 years, we're going to start seeing a lot more revelations about the alien presence. And I think we're going to start seeing Pleiadians and Telosians as some of the first group. We're going to see the Greys as well. But I think that if the governments of the world had their way, they're going to go with the Telosians and the Pleiadians because that won't scare people to death. I think a lot of people are not going to handle the Greys well. And I don't say that to be racist against Greys. It's just a fact that most humans aren't ready for that. Anyways, but I'm excited that the Telosians are re-emerging. I'm hearing a lot of trans channels telling me they're getting messages from the Telosians and the Pleiadians, and that they seem to be working together. And I think we're in for some amazing, amazing discoveries. I definitely keep an eye on the South Pole and on Mount Shasta and the North Pole. I think out of all three of these areas, we're going to start to see more emergence of sightings and claims of visitors and visiting that realm. So anyways, I just want to come here and share that with you guys today. By the way, how do you like my silver lame wrap I'm wearing? I thought this would be cool to wear on UFO Friday. Whenever I see the Lemurian masters, sometimes they come through in readings and bring messages. A lot of times they're cloaked in silver robes. And so I thought I'd wear silver to honor the Lemurian and Telosian connection. You guys are the best. Thank you for being here. Listen, keep it here at Spirit Channel. We'll have more tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday, and you know what that means? Saturday night seance. So we'll have that special for you guys. Make sure to be here. In the meantime, hope you'll help me out. Like this, favorite it, share it with your friends. Hit subscribe, be part of our channel. We'd love you to be here. And if you get a chance, pop over to my website and check out my books at my bookstore. I'll have the links below for all that. You guys are the best. I love you. Sending you my blessings. Thank you for being patient for me today. Keep watching, because after I finish this video, we're going to have a little strip of pictures that'll come up, and you can look at what Telosians look like and see pictures of, Admiral Byrd as well. We'll see you soon. God bless you. Good night. We'll see you tomorrow. Blessed be.